The silent shield stars watched in silence as Earth kept its vigil. For 3 centuries, humanity had maintained what the rest of the galaxy called the silent shield, an impenetrable barrier of advanced defense systems, automated sentinels, and a strictly enforced no-entry zone spanning the entire solar system. No alien ships entered, few human vessels left. Earth had learned its lessons from the early days of contact, when optimism nearly led to extinction. From the observation deck of Lunar Command, Admiral Eliza Reyes watched the distant glimmer of Venus through reinforced glass. At 62, her face carried the weathered look of someone who had spent decades making difficult decisions. The neural implant at her temple pulsed softly with incoming data, fleet positions, defense grid, status, diplomatic channels. Admiral, her aide approached with crisp military precision. The council is assembled. Eliza nodded, her eyes still fixed on the stars beyond. And our visitors? Still holding position at the edge of the Kuiper Belt. 7 vessels, as reported. They're maintaining communications silence. The Viridian Empire had arrived 3 days ago, their ships gleaming emerald against the void. Unlike the crude vessels of most spacefaring species, the Viridians' technology rivaled humanity's own, a fact that concerned Earth's Security Council more than they publicly admitted. Let's not keep them waiting, Eliza said, turning from the view dot in the council chamber. 12 faces appeared on holographic displays surrounding a circular table. Eliza took her place, activating her console with a touch. The Viridians have requested diplomatic contact, she began without preamble. Their lead vessel, the Eternal Harmony, claims peaceful intentions. They've sent a diplomatic package containing cultural information, scientific data, and formal greetings. Counselor Joe leaned forward, his aged face furrowed with concern. And what does intelligence make of this? The package appears genuine, Eliza replied. Director Okafor believes their approach follows standard diplomatic protocols. However, we've detected anomalies, interrupted a new voice. Commander Maya Chen materialized in the empty seat to Eliz's right, her hologram flickering slightly, indicating transmission from extreme distance. At 34, Maya commanded Fountain Division, Earth's elite stealth reconnaissance force. Her ships ventured beyond the shield where others dared not. Explain. The council president demanded. Maya's eyes narrowed. While the Viridian fleet maintains position, we've detected micro-quantum signatures consistent with stealth probes penetrating our outer defense grid. They're mapping our systems, testing responses, standard infiltration pattern. The room fell silent. Earth's history was littered with species who came with smiles while concealing daggers. Perhaps a standard precaution on their part, suggested Counselor Okafor. We would do the same. There's more, Maya continued. Phantom 3 detected a separate Viridian vessel at your OPA 12 hours ago. It departed before we could intercept. Analysis suggests they deployed something into the subsurface ocean. This changed everything. Your OPA housed humanity's largest water-based quantum computing array, critical infrastructure that powered defense systems. Throughout the solar system, containment status, Eliza asked sharply. Unknown. We've isolated your OPA systems as a precaution, but if they've introduced self-replicating nanotechnology, the council president stood, her decision made, implement stage 1 countermeasures. Alert all military assets but maintain passive posture. Commander Chen, your division has authorization to conduct deep reconnaissance of the Viridian fleet. Admiral Reyes prepared diplomatic response, cautious but not hostile. We need more information. Eliza nodded, feeling the familiar weight of command. Humanity had survived this long by measuring twice and cutting once. 3 hours later, she stood before a secured quantum communicator, facing the first alien ambassador Earth had received in decades. Ambassador Thalvik of the Viridian Empire appeared humanoid, with crystalline growths framing an angular face. When he spoke, his words translated with unnerving precision. Admiral Reyes, I bring greetings from the Eternal Throne. The Viridian Empire extends friendship to Earth and her colonies. We appreciate your communication, Ambassador, Eliza replied. With practiced neutrality, however, We must address the unauthorized probes detected within our defense perimeter. Such actions contradict peaceful intentions. The ambassador's expression remained unchanged. A regrettable misunderstanding. Our automatic systems deploy reconnaissance measures as standard protocol. We meant no offense. And the vessel at your a pause, barely perceptible. I am not informed of such a mission. Perhaps a navigational error. I will investigate. Immediately lies, Eliza thought, smooth and practiced. Until this matter is resolved, we request your fleet maintain its current position. Any approach will be considered hostile. Of course, Admiral, we seek only understanding between our peoples. The communication ended, and Eliza turned to her tactical officer. Analysis? Biometric readings indicate deception, Admiral. 97% confidence. Keep full alert. I want hourly updates on their fleet movements. As Eliza departed for Lunar Command's strategic center, her neural implant pulsed with an urgent priority message. Maya Chen, requesting immediate secure communication. In her private office, Eliza activated the quantum encrypted channel. Maya's face appeared, her expression grim against the backdrop of a stealth vessel's command center. Admiral, Phantom 2 intercepted a coded transmission from the Viridian fleet. We've partially decrypted it. Maya's voice was tight. They've been monitoring us for years. The diplomatic approaches cover for something called Operation Stargrave. Objective: unknown. But we found reference to asset acquisition and containment protocols. Eliza. They mentioned Ceres Station. Eliza felt her blood turn cold. Ceres housed Earth's most classified research division, Prometheus Project. If the Viridians knew about it, there's more. Maya continued. We detected energetic signatures consistent with weapons charging throughout their fleet. They're preparing for something. Estimated time frame? Hours, not days. Eliza made her decision. Implement Obsidian Protocol. Authorization Reyes 7 Delta Omega. Maya's eyes widened slightly. Obsidian Protocol hadn't been activated since the Proxima incident 27 years ago. Understood, Admiral. Phantom Division moving to designated positions. The connection closed, and Eliza pressed her hand against the neural command interface. On her desk, throughout the solar system, hidden facilities began awakening. Beneath Mars' southern pole, within Mercury's mantle, in the clouds of Jupiter and the rings of Saturn, humanity's true defense grid had remained dormant for generations. The Council reconvened within minutes, faces grave with understanding. The Prometheus Project, asked Counselor Joe, must be protected at all costs, Eliza replied. If the Viridians obtained the technology, the consequences would be catastrophic. The Council President nodded. Authorized. General Warren, deploy the Solar Guard. Admiral Reyes has operational command. In the cold darkness beyond Neptune, Maya Chen's stealth vessel slipped between gravitational eddies, approaching the Viridian flagship. Phantom Division ships were humanity's masterpieces, incorporating technology most Earth citizens didn't know existed. Perfect stealth, quantum phase drives, neurally linked weapon systems. Deployment positions reached. Her executive officer reported, all Phantoms in position. Maya nodded, studying the massive Viridian vessel through specialized sensors. Prepare. Infiltration team. We need their command codes. Commander, her communications officer interrupted. Priority signal from Ceres Station. They're under attack. Maya's console flashed with incoming data. A separate Viridian battle group had somehow bypassed the outer defense grid. Emerging directly near Ceres, the station's defenses were engaging, but they were outmatched. How did they? Maya began, but realization dawned immediately. The Europa incursion. They accessed our quantum network. Decisions crystallized in her mind. Transmit to Admiral Reyes. Stargrave initiated. All units. Deploy Charybdis packages. Throughout the solar system, Minute devices attached themselves to Viridian vessels, dormant. Waiting at Lunar Command, Eliza received Maya's message with grim determination. On her strategic display, red icons appeared near Ceres as the station came under direct assault. the main Viridian fleet had also begun moving, accelerating toward Earth's orbital defenses. "They think they've caught us unprepared," she murmured. Counselor Okafor's hologram appeared beside her. "Admiral, Prometheus project must not fall into their hands. If Ceres Station is breached, it won't be," Eliza interrupted. "Not for long. Enough to matter." She activated the command-wide channel, "All Solar Guard units. This is Admiral Reyes. Obsidian Protocol is in effect. Primary targets designated. Weapons free." Throughout the solar system, humanity revealed its teeth. From Saturn's rings, massive battle platforms emerged from concealment, their energy signatures suddenly blazing. Within the asteroid belt, mining ships transformed, weapon systems deploying. From hidden compartments, near Mars, orbital habitats released swarms of autonomous combat drones. Humanity had prepared for this moment for 3 centuries. The silent shield had never been merely defensive. On Ceres Station, Director Kendrick Harper ran through smoke-filled corridors. A quantum data core clutched against his chest. Behind him, security teams engaged Viridian boarding parties. With grim efficiency, the station shuddered as another impact struck its outer hull. "Containment breach in Sector 7, announced the station's AI. "Prometheus materials compromised," Harper swore under his breath. He reached a sealed door, pressing his hand against the biometric scanner. "Harper, Kendrick, authorization Prometheus actual." The door slid open, revealing a small chamber containing a single quantum transmitter. If the Viridians captured the research intact, all would be lost. His fingers flew across the control panel, initiating the emergency protocol. Warning, the AI intoned. "Protocol requires Council authorization. Override. Emergency Directive 17. The fire burns." The system hesitated, then accepted. "Transmission initiated. Prometheus data transferring to secure repositories in orbit around Earth." Hidden installations received the quantum encrypted data, the complete records of Project Prometheus, simultaneously throughout Ceres Station. Specialized charges activated, destroying physical evidence of the research. Harper allowed himself a grim smile as the door behind him burst open. Viridian soldiers entered, weapons raised. "You're too late," he told them simply. In the void beyond Neptune, Maya Chen watched as the Viridian flagship's engines flared. They were moving to join the attack on Ceres. Charybdis packages in position. Her tactical officer reported. Maya nodded. "Activate." Across the Viridian fleet, the tiny devices attached to their hulls came to life, deploying specialized fields that interfered with the aliens' quantum communication network. Ship by ship, their coordinated defense systems faltered. All phantoms, weapons free. Target their propulsion and communications. Our stealth vessels decloaked momentarily, releasing precisely targeted strikes before vanishing again. The massive Viridian ships shuddered as critical systems failed. At Lunar Command, Eliza watched the tactical display with calculated calm. The Viridian attack had been powerful and well coordinated, but predictable. They had expected humanity's visible defenses, not understanding that Earth had spent centuries preparing for this exact scenario. "Admiral," her tactical officer called. "Viridian forces at Ceres are retreating. They've taken heavy losses." Eliza nodded. "And Prometheus, Director. Harper reports successful implementation of Sundown Protocol. The research is secure. One battle won, but the war was just beginning." The main Viridian fleet was still approaching Earth. Even as their advance forces retreated from Ceres, "Maintain pressure." Eliza ordered, "All units proceed to Phase 2. Positions." Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden strength continued to emerge. The silent shield had been breached, but behind it lay the sword. The reckoning stormed light of distant explosions illuminated Maya Chen's face as she watched. The Viridian flagship through her vessel's advanced sensors. Her infiltration team had successfully boarded during the confusion of the initial assault, moving like ghosts through alien corridors. Their neural implants transmitted real-time data directly to her tactical display. Team Sigma has reached the command center periphery. reported her executive officer. "Resistance is minimal. They still don't know we're aboard." Maya nodded. "Proceed with data extraction. Priority on strategic plans and fleet communications." The infiltration team, 6 specialists in adaptive camouflage suits, approached the central command node of the massive vessel. Their objective wasn't destruction but information, understanding why the Viridians had risked war with humanity. At Lunar Command, Admiral Eliza Reyes studied the system-wide battle map with calculated precision. The initial Viridian assault had been blunted, but their main fleet was regrouping. 17 Earth vessels had been lost, along with 3 orbital platforms, acceptable losses. Considering what could have been, status report on Solar Guard deployments. She commanded. Her tactical officer responded immediately. Jupiter Division has engaged Viridian reinforcements near Ganymede. Saturn Division is moving to flank position. Mars defense grid is at full capacity, and the Prometheus materials secure in deep storage. Quantum encryption intact. Eliza allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction. The Viridians had failed in their primary objective, but the question remained. Why risk so much for Project Prometheus? Her neural implant pulsed with an incoming priority transmission. "Admiral." Maya Chen's voice came through with quantum clarity despite the vast distance. "We've accessed their command systems. You need to see this immediately." Data flowed through the secure connection, tactical plans, fleet movements, and finally, the true objective of Operation STARGRAVE. As Eliza absorbed the information, her expression hardened. "Confirm this data." "Confirmed through 3 independent sources," Maya replied. "Their intelligence is detailed and accurate. They know exactly what Prometheus is." Eliza turned to her communications officer. "Immediate council assembly. Priority. Alpha." Within minutes, the 12 council members appeared in holographic form, their faces showing varying degrees of concern. "The situation has escalated," Eliza began without preamble. "Commander Chen has retrieved Viridian strategic data. Their attack isn't merely opportunistic, it's existential. They believe Project Prometheus represents an imminent threat to their civilization." Counselor Joe's hologram flickered as he leaned forward. "Explain." Their intelligence suggests that Prometheus is developing technology that could render their quantum-based technology obsolete. They believe we're creating a weapon. Prometheus isn't a weapon. Counter Counselor Okafor. It's a communications breakthrough. "That's not how they see it," Eliza replied. "Their entire civilization is built on quantum entanglement networks. Our research could potentially disrupt those networks across their entire empire." Understanding dawned on the council members' faces. Project Prometheus had never been intended as a weapon, but its potential applications were far-reaching. If humanity could selectively disrupt quantum entanglement at a distance, the Viridians would lose their faster-than-light communications, their transportation networks, even their energy distribution systems. The council president spoke slowly. "They attacked preemptively, believing we planned to use this technology against them." "Yes," Eliza confirmed. "And now they're committed. Their strategic directives are clear. Total occupation of the solar system and seizure of all Prometheus research." Silence fell as the implications settled. The Viridians wouldn't retreat. They couldn't afford to. Believing their civilization's survival was at stake. Recommendations. "Admiral?" the president finally asked. "Implement Thunderhead Protocol," Eliza replied without hesitation. "We demonstrate our full capabilities, not just defensive but offensive. Show them that if they force this conflict to continue, the cost will be catastrophic." The council members exchanged glances. Thunderhead hadn't been activated since Earth unified its military command structure to centuries ago. "The diplomatic implications," began one counselor, "will be addressed after we've secured our survival." Eliza interrupted. "The Viridians came prepared for war. We must respond in kind." After brief deliberation, the council president nodded. "Authorized. Thunderhead Protocol is active. Admiral Reyes has full operational authority." Throughout the solar system, Earth's most advanced weapons platforms came online. In the clouds of Jupiter, massive energy collectors began drawing power directly from the gas giant's magnetic field. Near Mercury, solar rays pivoted, focusing concentrated energy towards specialized amplifiers. On the bridge of her vessel, Maya Chen received the updated command protocols. Thunderhead authorized, she confirmed. Phantom Division withdrawing to safe distance. Her infiltration team had completed their mission, extracting critical data and planting specialized devices. Throughout the Viridian flagship, as her stealth vessels pulled away, Maya activated a secure channel to the Viridian Command Center. This is Commander Chen of Earth's Phantom Division. You have 30 minutes to evacuate critical personnel. The Viridian Admiral appeared on screen. Crystalline features ranged in what might have been confusion. You reveal yourself now. For what purpose? Asterisk to give you a chance, Maya replied simply. 30 minutes. I suggest you use them in the orbital defense platform above Earth. Director Sophia Nguyen of Project Prometheus worked furiously at her console. When Admiral Reyes had contacted her with the Thunderhead authorization, she had immediately understood her role. Calibration complete, she announced to her team. Selective quantum disruption field prepared for demonstration deployment. This technology had never been intended as a weapon, but its potential had always been clear to those who understood its implications. A targeted pulse that could temporarily disrupt quantum entanglement, rendering the Viridian's most advanced systems useless without causing permanent damage. Energy capacitors at maximum, her chief engineer reported. Ready on your mark. Sophia looked to the holographic representation of Admiral Reyes. Target parameters? Viridian flagship only, Eliza replied. Minimal duration. This is a demonstration, not an attack. Sophia nodded, initiating in 3, 2, 1. From Earth's orbit, an invisible pulse radiated outward, traveling faster than light through specialized subspace channels. When it reached the Viridian flagship, the effect was immediate and dramatic. Throughout the massive vessel, systems failed. Simultaneously, lights flickered and died. Artificial gravity wavered. Communication channels went silent. The quantum entanglement nodes that formed the backbone of Viridian technology simply paused. For 30 seconds, the flagship drifted in darkness. Then, as suddenly as it had disappeared, power returned, systems reactivated. But the message had been delivered with unmistakable clarity. Earth could shut down their technology at will. Admiral Eliza Reyes opened a system-wide communication channel. To all Viridian forces, what you just witnessed was a targeted, temporary demonstration of technology you came to destroy. We have the capability to deploy this across your entire fleet, permanently. Your quantum networks would collapse. Your ships would be dead in space. She paused, letting the implications sink in. However, that is not our intention. Despite your unprovoked aggression, Earth desires peace. We offer immediate cessation of hostilities and diplomatic negotiations. Regarding the technology you fear, on the Viridian flagship, Supreme Commander Thalza stared at the holographic representation of Admiral Reyes with a mixture of shock and resignation. The reports flooding in confirmed what he had witnessed personally. For 30 seconds, all quantum-based systems had simply stopped. If deployed across their fleet, they would be defenseless. How do we know you won't use this weapon against our homeworlds? He demanded. Because we've had this capability for years and haven't done so, Eliza replied simply. Project Prometheus was developed for communication, not warfare. Your intelligence was incomplete. Thalza considered his options. The initial strike had failed. Ceres Station's valuable research had been evacuated before his forces could secure it. Now this demonstration of power, the Eternal Throne would not be pleased. But continuing this conflict could lead to catastrophe. I am authorized to negotiate a temporary cessation of hostilities, he finally stated. But the Viridian Empire will require assurances regarding this technology. Agreed. Eliza replied. A neutral location can be arranged for preliminary discussions. As the communication ended, Eliza turned to her staff. Maintain battle readiness. This isn't over yet. In the void beyond Neptune, Maya Chen watched as Viridian vessels began powering down weapons systems. Her infiltration team had returned safely, bringing with them critical intelligence about Viridian capabilities and intentions. They were withdrawing to the Kuiper Belt boundary. Her tactical officer reported, maintaining formation but reducing energy signatures. Maya nodded, cautious optimism tempering her tactical assessment. Keep Charybdis packages active. If they make any aggressive moves, we'll know instantly. At Lunar Command, the Council had reconvened to discuss the implications of the day's events. Project Prometheus had never been intended as a weapon, but its defensive applications were now undeniable. Earth had demonstrated power without destruction, perhaps the most effective deterrent possible. The diplomatic team is prepared. Councillor Okafor reported, "We've selected your Opus station as the neutral meeting ground." Eliza nodded. The Viridians will be cautious now, but not defeated. They still view Prometheus as an existential threat. Our challenge will be convincing them otherwise. And if we can't, ask Councillor Joe. Then we maintain the silent shield, Eliza replied. But now they know what lies behind it. In the days that followed, as diplomatic channels opened and tentative negotiations began, humanity watched the stars with new awareness. The galaxy beyond their solar system was more complex and dangerous than many had realized. Earth had survived its first major confrontation with a peer power, but the greater challenge would be preventing the next one. Asterisk from her office at Lunar Command. Admiral Eliza Reyes gazed at the blue-green sphere of Earth. For centuries, humanity had built walls around their home, protecting themselves from the dangers of the cosmos. Perhaps now, with strength demonstrated and respected, those walls could become gates instead. The silent shield remained, but perhaps its purpose was evolving, not just to keep threats out, but to allow humanity to venture forth on its own terms. The stars awaited, but Earth would proceed with the caution and strength that had ensured its survival thus far. As reports of Viridian fleet movements continued to arrive, Eliza activated a secure channel to Maya Chen's vessel, still patrolling the system's edge. "Commander, prepare Phantom Division for extended reconnaissance beyond the Kuiper Belt. I want eyes on their reinforcements before they arrive." "Understood, Admiral," Maya replied. "What exactly are we looking for?" Eliza considered the question carefully. Signs of whether they're preparing for peace or gathering for the next storm. The silent shield had held. The reckoning storm had passed. But in the vast darkness between the stars, new challenges were always forming. Earthward. "Be ready, asterisk."